Hello, everybody. This is Georgiana and Meredith from Creativity for Kids, and today we're going to do some summer rock painting using our hide and seek dotted rock. So, Miss Meredith, take it away.
Thank you, Georgiana, and thank you, Felicia. I'm so happy to be here with all of you doing some rock painting today. And some of you might be aware of our rock painting kits. This is one of many that we have. Over here behind me, you can see our original hide and seek rock painting kit. And the difference between this rock painting kit and that one is the designs that you can make. So in this kit, we actually give you some dotted designs to follow here. So let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's inside. All right, so we have our rocks. And in all of our rock kits, you get 2 hefty bags full of wonderful round organic rocks. Our handy dandy instructions. Ooh, and our design sheets inside. So we have our the black printed design sheets and our foil design sheets, as well as our stickers that we'll put on the back of our rocks when we're done painting them. We have our cute little sponge for putting our little dot designs on. Our wonderfully vibrant paint. And all of our cool little brushes. So we have our broad tip brush, and this brush is going to be handy for doing large amounts of color, covering the entire rock with a large amount of paint. And then we have these cute little paint brushes that are perfect for making little dots or little details. So we'll put all of this aside for now. And we'll cover our work surface. And this is something we instruct for all of our kits that include paint. We always say covering your work surface is a good idea just to protect it from the paint. Now you'll also need to get some water and some extra paper towels for rinsing off your brush when you change colors of paint. So we'll just do that. Now, I'm so curious. I did read in the chat just a moment ago that someone had already painted some rocks, so that's exciting. And if you've already painted some rocks, I would love to see what you painted. So if you or an older friend or your parents or whomever could take a picture, you can share it with us on our social media sites like #CreativityForKids. All right, so I'm just opening up our rocks. And part of the fun of doing rock painting is looking at the different shapes of rocks to kind of figure out what they might look like to you. So for our original rock painting kit, I might look at this rock and say, oh, you know what? This rock kind of looks like a strawberry. And then I would paint a strawberry on it to make it look like this rock is a strawberry. But in this kit, this is mainly focusing on creating rocks with really fun dot designs on them. So we're going to paint our rocks the base color, and then we're going to put our dot designs on top of them. So as I mentioned, a little bit of water, some paper towels, and we are all set to go. Now, if you do not have this kit at home, that's okay. All you need to do is grab some rocks from outside, some acrylic paint. That's the type of paint we're using. And actually, our acrylic paint has a special little ingredient in it that helps it stay good if you put it outside. It shouldn't run off of your rock. It should stay on your rock. So we have a special ingredient to help it stay on your rock. Now, first things first, we want to paint a couple of our rocks just with a white base in order for the colors any other colors that we put on to pop. So I already have a couple painted white. I'm going to do a couple more just to prepare so these can dry while we're adding color to some of our other rocks that have already been painted white. So I love doing rock painting because there are so many things you can make out of rocks. I have seen some really amazing rock painting out there in which the artists make the rocks look like little baby hedgehogs, or like a fish, or like a beautiful landscape, like a pond or mountains and trees and stuff like that. So this paint doesn't take too long to dry, but I do recommend letting it dry completely before adding another color or adding our transfers onto the rock. So I'm really bad at waiting for the paint to dry, and oftentimes I don't let it dry enough. So if you have seen some of my other videos, there's a chance that you've seen what happens when you don't let it dry enough. But today I'm going to test myself to see if I can find that patience and let it dry completely. Okay, we'll let those dry. For real, I will try my best to let those dry. Okay, so I have exciting news for you guys. Today is National Smile Day. So we just happen to have a transfer, one of our little transfers that looks like a smile. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to use a transfer and use this little transfer, this little smiley face transfer. So what you're going to want to do first is cut out your transfer. And the transfer sheet has a clear protective coating on it, a clear protective sheet on it. So you can see, well, maybe you can't see. I'm just lifting it up to show you this little protective sheet here. So just keep that in mind. But we will be using this little smile face because it is National Smile Day. And this rock is perfect. When you're using a transfer, you want to make sure that you find a rock that's big enough to fit the entire transfer on. So I'm going to use this, this rock and this transfer. So let's see, what color should I paint my rock? Anyone out there would like to request a color of paint for the background of our smiley face? Let's see who's out there. We've got magenta, green, yellow, blue, orange, or purple. What do we think? Oh, okay. I see we've got pink, blue, lime green, blue, purple. Okay, we have 2 for blue, so we're doing blue. Thank you for typing in, friends. I love getting your feedback. So throughout our class, feel free to chime in to my questions because it makes it fun when I hear from you guys. So here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint blue over top of our white base. And like I mentioned earlier, I am going to try and let this dry completely before I add our transfer on. So it'll be a nice successful transfer. So one coat of blue looks like this. If you would like it to be darker, you can do a second coat once this coat dries. And I should mention, when you open up your paint, there might be a little bit of liquid on top of it, and that's normal. Just go ahead and you just mix that right in. So you mix it in and then you use your paint. All right, so while we wait for this one to dry, I'm going to show you this really cool technique. And it's similar to what we did on this rock. So we're going to choose a couple different colors and we're going to kind of mix them on the rock. So in this one, you can see I used pink and I used blue and I kind of mixed them together and it created purple in between, kind of like a marbly effect. So let's give that a try. So since I already painted this rock white, I'm going to, you know what, maybe we'll do orange. Maybe we'll do yellow and pink, and maybe that will create an orange. So we'll just see. This is the marbly type technique that I'm showing you right now. So all you do is you take a scoop of yellow or a scoop of one color and you put it on your rock. Now you're going to take a scoop of your other color and I'm going to rinse off my brush before I take that scoop of another color. Take a scoop of the other color and put it on your rock. And I like to close up the tops of my paint after I'm done using them, just so I don't knock my paint over and then it goes all over the place. So that's why I do that. All right, so this is super duper easy and fun. All you do is you just start kind of carefully mixing the two paint colors. And I'm not mixing them so much that the paint's going to completely blend and create a new color. I'm doing it just enough so you can still see the yellow and the pink, and in certain places, that orange that's created from mixing the yellow and the pink. So this is how it looks, and it looks kind of messy, but it looks, in my opinion, kind of cool, like kind of painterly. And you can really see the brush strokes in there. So it's just a fun little technique that's kind of artistic, abstract looking. Now this one, since it does have thicker paint on it, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. So again, with the having to have patience and letting our rocks dry. All right. So our blue, yep, our blue is all dry now. So going back to our transfer. So our blue rock is perfect for our little smiley face transfer. What you're going to want to do is take off the protective sheet. And just like the fake tattoos that you might have tried, you just take off that little, the top layer, and you flip it over so the design is on the rock, just like that. Now take your cute little sponge, and if you don't have this kit at home, that's okay. You could try and use one of those fake tattoo sheet transfers and add it on, just like I am. So I dipped the sponge in water, and now I'm dabbing the sponge over the transfer to get it nice and moist, not soaking wet. Like it shouldn't be dripping. It should just be all wet like that. And you can kind of see the image through the back there. Now you let it sit on there for a little bit. I'm gonna kind of see if it's transferred just by picking up one edge. Let's see if we can see if it's transferred. If it's transferred, ooh, it's starting to transfer. So I think I'll let it sit a little. There we go. I felt it move. All right, so here we go. Nice and easy. Yay, hello friend. Our smiley face transfer is a success. So we'll put our little buddy over here. And this is like a really good, successful transfer. Sometimes you might lift up the edge of the transfer and it starts to wrinkle a little bit. Well, that's okay. If you finish taking the transfer off, you can sometimes use your finger and just straighten it out, or use the sponge and straighten it out, and then it's successful as well. So we'll put our little buddy aside, and we're going to come back to him because we're going to add some dots to him. But right now, we will go ahead and paint another rock. And who would like to suggest a color for this rock? This nice oval, very egg-shaped type of a rock. What color should we make this rock? And while you guys type in, I'm going to prepare another rock with some white so we can continue painting. All right, Georgiana, what do we got?
Well, we had a suggestion earlier of pink and lime green.
Ooh.
We have another vote for lime green.
Ooh.
And another one for purple.
Okay.
A red ladybug.
Aw.
Oh, looks like somebody's looking at our transfers.
That's a great thing. Awesome. Thank you, Georgiana, for reading those off. So let's see, I have a choice to make. I think I'm going to do a solid color. So how about if I do one of these lime green and one of these purple?
I think that's a great resolution.
Okay, good. All right. So this one here, I'll set that aside. I'll do this one lime green and this one purple. And of our transfers, let's see. Someone had just mentioned the ladybug, so maybe we'll do the ladybug on either the green or the purple one. I think that would be cool. All right. Painty, paint, paint, paint. So again, if you don't have this kit at home, it's okay. If you did want to add designs, you can use a permanent marker. You can use other acrylic paint with a smaller tip paintbrush. Oh yeah, and we'll get there too because we do have some smaller tip paintbrush right here. So we will use those. All right, so there's our green. And here's our purple. Well, this class is going by so quickly.
You do have a question.
Sure, what's that?
Can you also paint the back side of your rock?
Oh, of course, yep. If you want to paint the back side of your rock, I recommend painting the top of it white, letting the top dry, then flipping it over and painting the bottom of it white. Letting it dry, flipping it over, and then painting whatever color on the top, letting it dry, and then painting the bottom of it. So there's more waiting for things to dry, but sometimes it's just worth it because you are going to be picking these rocks up and maybe hiding them. Ooh, that's a good question. By the way, thank you for asking that. Yes, you definitely can. You can paint the bottom of your rock as well. But I have a question for all of you again. Where should we hide these rocks once they are all painted and all dry? Who has an idea of what we can do with our painted rocks? If you have a thought on where we should put our painted rocks, please let me know. On a trail. Ooh, that sounds like someone who likes to hike or maybe bike or something of that nature. I'm going to prepare our ladybug here.
I'm going with the friend who's gonna put it on the beach.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, beach days. Oh, I love going to the beach.
By a library?
Oh, that's fun too. Okay. Okay, so library, inside or outside, all of these are wonderful suggestions. So I have actually hid a rock on a trail in our local park. And that was fun because you see this really bright purple rock out in nature and it definitely catches your eye. So we give you, and I'll show you this right now, we give you these stickers. And the stickers say hashtag creativity for kids. And I'll just stick this to the back of the rock if you can see. So if you do leave your rock out for someone to find, they can take a picture of the rock and then go to hashtag creativity for kids. And on our social media sites, they can post the picture of the rock. So if you check the social media accounts, the Creativity for Kids, Facebook or Instagram, you might see a rock that you painted and hid that someone else found. And that's really neat. So go ahead and do that if you do have time, and if you guys do paint these rocks and put our little stickers on them, that's something fun to see, to watch for. All right, so we have our green drying, our purple drying, our mixy colored drying. Our little smiley face is dry. So let's go ahead and show you how to use these itty bitty teeny tiny paintbrushes. So following the dots of the design, you can paint right over top. So let's just say I want to make my smiley face pink. So we just take our super sweet little paintbrush, we dip it in the pink, and then we dot it right over top. I'll do it a little closer so you can see. Right over top of our transfer. And you don't want to push too hard or else it creates a really big dot and it might cover the entire transfer dot. So you want to just do it light enough to drop a little bit of paint. Just like that. Yay, we have a pink smile face. So let's add another color. And with these paintbrushes, you don't really have to rinse them off. You can just kind of wipe them off because they don't really absorb that much paint. Like they don't really have bristles in which the paint gets stuck in. You can just wipe them off with a paint or a paper towel until you're done crafting. When you're all done crafting, then I do recommend washing it out with water. So look at how teeny tiny these dots are. This is quite the dot maker. You can make teeny tiny little dots like this. Go all the way around our smiley face. You know, while I'm making these dots, there is a song that's going through my head. And I don't know if any of you would even know this song, but it's from a video game called Frogger. And I used to play this video game when I was younger, and it was super duper fun. It involved getting a frog, like you control the frog. You had to get the frog across the street. And the street had all this different traffic on it. But the song from that video game is going through my head as I create these dots. And I don't know why, but it's kind of fun. So we're almost all the way around our circle for our smiley face. Ta-da! Cool. All right, so the other thing you can do with our teeny tiny itty bitty brush like this is layer the dots. So once this paint dries, you can layer more dots over top. So I'll show you on my butterfly here, which was done a while ago. All this paint is dry. So you can just take more paint and you can add smaller dots over the larger dots that you created. And it adds more interest that way, in my opinion. So you might be asking, how do you make smaller dots and how do you make larger dots? Well, you make larger dots just by pushing harder. So I'll push hard here. And I'm kind of like moving my brush around in a circle like that. So that's the size I created by doing that. Now, if I were to just do a light amount of pressure, I can get a super duper smaller little dot. So this paintbrush is really fun to use like that. We'll put it away for now. And let's do another transfer. Now we said we wanted to do our ladybug, so we'll do our ladybug. And I think we'll do our ladybug on the green. Yeah. So again, all we do, we cut it out and then we take off the protective paper, clear protective paper. We put it face down on our rack. Oh, just making sure that it's dry. It is. Face down on our rack. And then taking our sponge, dipping it in water, and then wetting the transfer paper. And we're wetting it enough so that the transfer releases from the paper and sticks to the rack. And it really takes like under a minute for that to happen. And we want to double check that it is actually sticking on. So we recommend just kind of peeking under one of the corners. Right, little lucky ladybug. Have you transferred yet? Yes. Yay! Another successful transfer. Cool. All right, so we'll let our little ladybug hang out here and dry before we paint it. And while we do that, let's use one of our foil transfers. How about butterfly or heart? Ready, set, type in butterfly or heart. Butterfly or heart. Butterfly or heart. Which one do we want to do? What? Heart, butterfly, butterfly. Do we have another vote? Kathy says heart. Let's see, is that Raina? Butterfly, Irene, butterfly. Well, we have two butterflies. Oh, now we have two hearts. It's a tie. Oh, butterfly. Oh, what's the next one? This is exciting. Hearts. Oh my gosh, it's 3-3. We need a tiebreaker. Georgiana, will you be my tiebreaker?
I'm a butterfly gal.
All right, I'm both, so I needed some help there.
I think the ladybug needs a friend.
Hey, okay, they're gonna hang out in the garden together. All right, so we want to make sure that our transfer will fit on our rock, and it looks like it will. So we'll just peel off the protective sheet and put it face down on our rock. A little bit of water and dab, dab, dab. Here we go. That song is back in my head again. Do, 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 do. All right. All wet. There we go. And if we have time after this transfer, I want to show you one more painting technique. To try, which is a gradient. It's a gradient technique. And what that means is taking one color and kind of taking two colors, I should say, and blending them so you can see both colors, but also the color that's blended in between. All right, so I may have put too much water on. And how I know that is because my hand is wet. So let's try that off. Okay. Now I have realized that it takes a little bit longer for the foil transfers to actually transfer. So I'm letting it sit a little longer before, oh, I think it's time. So when I move it like this, I can kind of feel the transfer like sliding off of the paper and onto the rock. And that's what we want to happen. So we don't want it to slide all over the place, but we do want it to transfer on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can kind of see one of my little dots down here got folded. So I'm just unfolding it with my finger like that, and up here as well. And this one's okay. So that is an example of how to straighten any little bits of your transfer that just might get caught up a little bit. So all good. Yay, look at this beautiful golden rainbow butterfly. I love it. I kind of don't want to put any paint over it because I think it looks so pretty just like that. And if the sun shines on it, it will definitely catch someone's eye. Ooh, especially at the beach. So good, good, good. Okay, put that one down. And our last painting technique, like I mentioned, is the gradient. So I'm going to take, let's see, what two colors should I use? Maybe the yellow and the green. Okay, I'll do that. Or should I do blue and white? I think I'll do yellow and green. Oh, maybe I'll do yellow and blue. Okay, yellow and blue. So what we want to do is, it's kind of like a tie-dye effect. So this is an example where I put yellow in the center and I put pink on the outside. And then I kind of brush the yellow into the pink and it creates orange. So that's our circular radiating gradient. You can also do it in a straight line, but we're going to do it circular today. So I'm starting by adding some yellow to the inside, to the center of the rock, just like that. And I'll rinse out my brush. I'm going to leave my yellow open just because I might need some more of it. And then I'm going to take blue and paint around the edge of the rock with the blue because I want that part of the rock to stay blue. So the center, I want to stay yellow, and the outside, I want to stay blue. All right, now cleaning off my brush. And I'm just kind of going to start brushing that yellow into the blue. And why this works is because the blue is still wet and so is the yellow. So it's blending into a green, a beautiful green color. Now I have lost a little bit of my yellow center, So that's why I'm going to go back in with some yellow. To brighten it back up to the yellow that I wanted. You can still see some, but I want a little bit more. But this is the idea of creating a gradient. So you can see the yellow, the green, and the blue. And you can always go back in with either color, really, if you wanted to make one more pronounced, like one a little bit darker or a little bit more. So like, I'll go back in with the yellow and just add some more yellow in there, like that. And why I'm doing it circularly, why I'm doing it in a circle is because we do have a transfer that's well, it's like a mandala. It's a design that's circular. And I think it would look really cool with a circular gradient. So it like radiates outward. And I'll go back in a little bit with the blue. So just here and there, just a little bit. And that looks cool. And you could even do like rays of sun or rays of blue. There you go. Like that. Ta-da! All right. So we'll let that one dry. And then when that one's all dry, this is like what I'm talking about, this type of design. It's kind of like circular, like a flower, and it radiates outward. Ooh, or like this one or that one. Okay, so our little ladybug, I think, needs a couple little dots as well. And although we don't have the red, we do have orange and we have pink. So I'll go ahead and use the orange. And I'll show you guys, although you do have this adorable little itty bitty brush for making little fine tip circles or dots, you can also use the end of your big paintbrush and create circles or dots. So I'm going to do that just to show you guys. It makes a much bigger circle. And this really depends on how much paint you have on the tip of your brush. Like that. Whoa. Oh, I just had an idea. I'm going to make half of it orange and half of it pink. Okay, cool. Yes, I think I scared Georgiana with my noise. So I got excited. All right, here we go. Little bit of pink and a little bit of orange. Here's our pink, 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 pink. Ta-da! Our half and half. If that ladybug was made out of candy, I bet part of it would be strawberry and part of it would be tangerine. All right, well, do we have any other questions for our rock painting friends out there? If you do, oh yes, okay, what's your question? You'll have to just type it in. And while you type it in, I think I will add some dots to this little rock here. Let's see what color dots. Maybe white and blue.
So if we do not have the kit, what's a good type of seal that we should look for our rocks to spray on them?
Any kind of acrylic sealant. So, you know, like a clear acrylic weatherproof paint would be good. And you can usually find that at like Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those home improvement stores? That's a great question. Any kind of like shellac that's safe for kids to use is what I recommend. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, creating dots is really very fun and also relaxing. It's definitely relaxing.
Well, since these are summer rocks, Meredith, do you have any big plans for the summer or your favorite summer activity?
Ooh, I would love to go to the beach. I don't know if I'll have time this year to go to the beach, but that's my favoriteest thing to do in the summer is go to the beach and hang out in the sand and in the ocean. And if I can't do that, I like to go to the pool and just be in the sun and then cool off in the pool. And of course, eat ice cream. That is one of my favoriteest things to do, but that's kind of all year round, I guess, not just during the summer. How about you, Georgiana?
I'm right with you. I love to sit by my pool. I love ice cream and I love summer nights. I like
Ooh.
bonfires. I love s'mores.
Oh, yeah.
I like hanging out with my friends.
And seeing the lightning bugs. I
Oh,
love seeing the lightning
yeah.
bugs.
They're like little dots in the sky.
Dots that light up and it looks like, you know, Christmas lights out in the woods. Really cool. That is cool. So this guy is just about done too. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I can't wait to hide some of these rocks. All right. I think we're all set, guys. So, like I mentioned, this is one of many rock painting kits that we offer at Michael's and online. And I hope you guys enjoyed painting with me today. And I hope that you can join me again for my next class. So happy painting and happy hiding your rocks. And if you want to, go ahead and share them on our social media page so I can see what you guys created too. Thanks. Bye, guys. Have a good day.